Your AlphaDrive is organized into several layers of folders. To configure the organization of your folders, please see the video entitled Configuring AlphaDrive File Settings. The main folder on your AlphaDrive is called the root folder. This folder contains everything on your AlphaDrive regardless of how you have it organized. The easiest way to open the AlphaDrive root folder is to click the View Files button on the AlphaDrive bar, or by clicking Clio Cloud Drive from any File Explorer window. For this video, my matters are organized by status, client, and matter. If your matter organization settings are different, then the folders contained in your AlphaDrive root folder will also be different. You can see that my root folder contains folders for my pending, open, and closed statuses. The open status folder contains all clients with one or more open matters in Clio. The closed and pending folders each contain all of the matters for their status. Each client folder inside each status folder then contains another folder for each individual matter for that client with that status. For example, if John Smith has one open matter and one closed matter, there will be a folder called John Smith in each of those status folders, and each one will only contain the matter with that status. All folders in AlphaDrive except for matter folders are read-only, which means that you cannot directly create any files or folders within them without creating a matter in Clio. Trying to create a file or folder in AlphaDrive outside of a matter folder will give you an error stating that you do not have permission. For example, adding a new client in Clio named Aaron Aronson with a matter called divorce with an open status will create a folder called Aronson Aaron inside the open status folder. This folder will then contain a matter folder called divorce. Files inside matter folders can be created either through Clio or directly through AlphaDrive. If I create a new file called motion inside the matter folder, you can see that this file can now be accessed from the Documents tab in Clio. It is worth noting that all folders contained in the matter status folders derive their names directly from the corresponding client or matter in Clio. This means that if a client's name changes, a matter name changes, or a matter status changes, the folder for that client or matter will be renamed and potentially moved to a different location after AlphaDrive refreshes. If I originally misspelled Aronson and correct it to Aronson spelled like this, and change the divorce matter status to closed, the client folder should also be renamed and moved to the closed status folder. You can see that this client folder no longer exists in the open status folder, but can be found under the new name in the closed status folder. Large firms may notice some folders that do not correspond to any group from your matter organization settings. They may be single letters or groups of numbers. These folders appear because of automatic grouping that occurs in AlphaDrive to improve performance when there are over 1,000 matters in a group. This automatic grouping can be avoided by being more specific with your matter organization settings. Grouping by attorney name will usually solve this problem. For information on how to change these settings, please see the video entitled Configuring AlphaDrive File Settings. Occasionally, you may also find folders with seemingly random strings of numbers. This occurs when there are two matters with identical names inside of the same folder. For example, if I create another closed matter for Aaron Aronson called divorce, then navigate to that client's folder, you can see there is only one matter folder called divorce, but it has two folders in it with numbers for names. These numbers are Clio's internal matter numbers, and each of these folders corresponds to one of the matters called divorce. To avoid this happening, simply add more specific information to the matter name. If I change the matter names to Divorce 2012 and Divorce 2017, you can see that the matters are now grouped separately in the client folder.